Welcome to 2023.
Merry New Year!
Happy New Year. In this country, we say Happy New Year.
For this channel update, I've divided it into 3 separate sections. We're going to take a look back at 2022. I'm going to go over some of the rides that I have planned for 2023. And since the riding season is over in Chicagoland, I'm going to go over some of the videos and projects I'm working on this winter. When I think about our 2022 riding season, 4 things immediately come to mind. Uncooperative weather, high gas prices, Chicago Lakefront Trail, and Bike the Drive. At the beginning of the year, we had plans to do e-bike weekend trips in May, June, July, August, and September. While we were able to do our Waukesha trip back in May for the Glacial Drumlin State Trail, unfortunately, weather got in the way the other 4 months. In June, we had planned to ride the Bugline Trail and the Eisenbahn State Trail, but the weekend weather was not good, so we ended up riding those 2 trails later in 2 separate day trips. Later into the summer, I planned 2 trips for the same weekend. I had a north option and a south option. If there was rain at one location, we had hoped the weather would be good at the other location. But, as Mother Nature would have it, there was rain in both places. The weekend wasn't ruined, though. The weather was good enough in Chicagoland, where we ended up riding the Chicago Lakefront Trail both days. Speaking of the Chicago Lakefront Trail, the Chicago Lakefront Trail was at the very top of my list of trails to ride in 2022. In July, we rode it for the first time. To my surprise, at the end of our first ride, there were a couple of things that I immediately realized. 1, that this trail was going to need more than just one video. And 2, that this was the best trail I had ridden out of the over 100 trails I've ridden so far. In fact, we liked this trail and exploring around the trail so much that we went back to Chicago over a dozen more times. There is an incredible amount of things to explore, and we've seen some really awesome things right from the Lakefront Trail. And we found some awesome things just a short ride from the Lakefront Trail. I have some future video plans for the Chicago Lakefront Trail, but I'll get to that in the next segment. One of the highlights from 2022 was going to our first Bike the Drive. Bike the Drive is an event in Chicago where they close down Lakeshore Drive to cars, and for one morning a year, bikes can ride on Lakeshore Drive. If you do the entire ride, it's about 30 miles and is between Hollywood Avenue on the north and the Museum of Science and Industry on the south. The weather outlook for that day was not good. The goal for us was to avoid the rain, but unfortunately, near the end of the ride, the rain caught up with us and we got soaked. Even with the rain, we all had fun and will definitely make this a yearly tradition. If the weather that weekend looks good, we will likely spend that weekend in the city. A YouTube short is a vertical video that's 60 seconds or less. During the summer, I started making some. I'll probably use YouTube shorts as a way to give a sneak peek at an upcoming video. This fall, YouTube started giving some smaller channels access to the community tab, which is something I've been looking forward to since it gives me the ability to post things other than videos, like text, images, surveys, and more, so keep an eye out for that. On Black Friday, I bought the new GoPro Hero 11 on sale. It's going to replace my Hero 10 as my main walking around camera, and I'll be shooting in 5.3K now. So now I can use the Hero 10 for other kinds of shots during a ride.
And now it's time to look at the future.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
This is the Rails to Trails Conservancy's list of top 10 trails in Illinois. Here's where things stood at the beginning of 2022. This year, I was able to check 3 more off of the list: the 606, the Old Plank Road Trail, and the Waponsie Glacial Trail. It is my hope to check off at least one more of these in 2023. This is what TrailLink shows for bike trails in northern Illinois that are over 10 miles long. According to them, there are about 30 of them. Here are the ones I've ridden so far. The remainder of these trails are on my list to ride. At the Lake County Forest Preserve website, you can find a list of all of the forest preserves in Lake County. Once there, you have the ability to filter that list to only show forest preserves with bike trails. At the beginning of 2022, this is how it looked. As you can see, I was able to check a bunch more off of that list. In the coming year, I plan to continue to work on that list. Once I'm done, I'm going to start a list of Cook County forest preserves to do next. As far as the Chicago Lakefront Trail goes, I'm probably going to make a few different videos. One will show the walking portion of the Lakefront Trail. Sometimes the bike trail and the pedestrian trail are right next to each other. And other times they go different ways, so it'll be interesting to see that version of the trail. As the year progresses and we start spending time on the Lakefront Trail again, I'm going to figure out how I want to lay out the rest of the Lakefront Trail videos. But right now I'm thinking about videos like a favorite places video where I show my favorite places in and around the trail. A sculpture ride where we visit a bunch of Chicago's sculptures. And there's a bunch of sculptures to check out. And maybe even a pub crawl ride where we check out some of the many options to grab a drink close to the trail. If you guys have any recommendations for places I should check out while on the trail or an easy ride from the trail, let me know in the comments below. I've had some requests to re-ride some trails that I did in 2020 and early 2021 so I can add telemetry to those videos. A few of those are the Cal-Sag Trail, the Centennial Trail, and the loop at Waterfall Glen. There were a few Illinois trails that I wanted to get to in 2022, but I didn't ride. So I plan to ride the DuPage River Trail finally, the trails at St. James Farm, and the Cook County portion of the Des Plaines River Trail. After we rode the I&M Canal State Trail from Morris to Seneca, while editing the video, I learned that there was another piece of the I&M Canal Trail that we had not yet ridden. It looks like the last piece we need is the section between Romeo Road and Maddox Tank. The trail goes right by the Heritage Quarries Recreation Area. While looking at trails in that area, I also found one called the Rock Run Greenway that we're going to check out. Looking outside of the Chicagoland area, this past summer we were going to spend a weekend in Springfield, but the weather wasn't cooperative on the weekend we had planned. I want to check out some Lincoln stuff while we're down there, and I also found 4 trails I want to check out. The Interurban Trail, the Wabash Trail, the Sangamon Valley Trail, and the Lost Bridge Trail. Looking at the top 10 trails in Wisconsin now, I started the year having only completed 2 of the 10 trails. In 2022, we checked one more off of the list, the Eisenbahn State Trail. How many of these trails have you ridden? Let me know in the comments below. While we have ridden about 15 miles of the Fox River State Trail, we have not completed it yet, and we hope to get back to the trail sometime this spring. While in that area, I also want to check out the Devils River State Trail, the Mariners Trail, and the Raleigh Point Trail. The Badger State Trail is still on my list of trails to ride, although unfortunately it looks like the Stewart Tunnel is still closed. One of the main reasons I wanted to ride this trail was because of the Stewart Tunnel. So it's looking like I'm going to have to ride this trail while the Stewart Tunnel is closed, unfortunately. When we're in the Madison area for the Badger Trail, we're also going to check out the Military Ridge State Trail. That's a trail I had hoped to get to in 2022 but never got back up to Madison. A couple more trails we plan on checking out this year include the Glacial River Trail, which looks like it runs between Milton and Jefferson, and the Interurban Trail, which runs right through Port Washington. We didn't find the time to get it done in 2022, but if we are able to find the time to do it, I'd like to be able to ride the Cal Haven Trail in Michigan. It's on Rails to Trails Conservancy's top 10 list for Michigan. So that's a quick rundown on some of the trails that we have on the list for 2023. Do you have a trail recommendation for me? Let me know in the comments below. Siri, what is the wind chill right now?
The wind chill is currently negative 36 degrees Fahrenheit.
I'll give you a winter prediction. It's going to be cold, it's going to be gray, and it's going to last you for the rest of your life.
Well, let's hope winter's not that bad, but as those of us who live in Chicagoland well know, it can definitely feel that way. Let's take a look at my plans for the next couple of months before the 2023 riding season begins. I've got some videos and off-season projects planned. Just like I did for 2020 and 2021, I will be releasing a video that highlights my top 5 trails of 2022, so look for that in the coming weeks. YouTube has an option where you can add a channel trailer for people who have not yet subscribed. So this winter, I plan on creating a channel trailer for CynicalZombie. Occasionally, I will find an article, or a subscriber will send me an article about a trail. The trail might be brand new or under construction, closed, extended. Well, I'd like to share some of that information with you guys, so I'm working on creating a trail news segment where I can share things of interest to trail riders. So look out for some trail news videos in the coming year. Last year, I intended to create a video about AllTrails, but I never got around to it. This year, I plan on creating 2 videos related to AllTrails. A short video showing how to use the map link in the video description, and a longer video going over how I use AllTrails and other sources to research and ride these trails. Previously, this was a URL to access my YouTube channel. Thankfully, this fall, YouTube started rolling out YouTube handles. So now, I finally have a custom URL for my YouTube channel, which means it's time to get new business cards. A lot of YouTubers carry some sort of swag with them. I've received requests to get a sticker created of my logo, so this year, I will have stickers with me while I'm riding.
It's shout-out time.
To every one of you who watched one of my videos or shared, liked, subscribed, or commented, a very big shout out to all of you. I recently passed 300 subscribers and I'm thankful to each and every one of you. That is a lot of people. To put it in perspective, this is Dolby Cinema at AMC South Barrington and it seats about 235 people. The CynicalZombie family is large enough now to fill this entire theater and leave more than 70 people waiting outside. Thanks again to all of you, and I hope to see many more people join the CynicalZombie family in the coming year. So that's all I have for the January channel update. I wish you all a wonderful and adventurous 2023. I'll catch you on the next video.